In the oldest part of the town of Villaverde stood a grand, elegant, and obsessively tidy mansion known as the House of the Oaks. Its large windows always reflected the dawn, and its gardens looked as if they were hand-painted. This was the home of Don Esteban Valoria, a man known for his demanding nature, strict discipline, an obsession with order. He wasn't evil, just someone who was never satisfied. One day, a young woman named Mariela arrived, seeking employment. At 19, she had skillful hands and a heart full of patience. From a humble family, she was determined to help support them. She had heard that Don Esteban paid well, but that he was also difficult to work for. The head housekeeper, Dona Aurelia, greeted her at the door. "We work very hard here, child," she said in a soft, tired voice. "I'm ready to work hard," Mariela replied with a timid smile. She was shown to a small room, barely big enough for a bed and a wardrobe. For Mariela, who grew up with little, it was more than enough. She started that same day, sweeping hallways, cleaning stairs, dusting furniture, and tidying rooms. But she quickly noticed something odd. Don Esteban watched everything, down to the smallest detail. If an ornament wasn't in its exact place, he would move it to centimeters to the right. If a curtain didn't hang perfectly, he would adjust it without a word. If the floor shined, he'd say it could shine brighter. Mariela accepted this, thinking it was just his personality. She didn't know it was only the beginning. On her third day, while cleaning the dining room, Don Esteban entered. "The silverware is not aligned," he stated firmly. "Could you show me how you prefer it, sir?" she asked. "It's obvious. It's a matter of order. I will try again." Mariela rearranged the cutlery over and over until he commented, "Without even looking, they are still not quite right. Redo the entire setting." She took a deep breath and obeyed. He wasn't rude, but he wasn't fair either. This became a daily occurrence. Over time, Mariela noticed he only asked her to redo tasks. One day, as she finished organizing a linen closet, Don Esteban appeared behind her. "Is that the best you can do?" he asked. "I've organized by size and color, sir." "No, the order is wrong. Start over." A knot formed in her chest. It had taken her hours. But she simply nodded. "Yes, or later." Dona Aurelia approached her. "Child, don't take it personally. He's like that. He wants perfection. But with you, he seems to be twice as demanding." Mariela looked down. "Have I done something wrong?" "No. Sometimes people see potential where there's dedication, and so they demand more. Just keep your composure." The workload only grew heavier. More rooms to clean, more items to sort, and constant revisions. Each day, she ended it utterly exhausted. One Friday, before sunrise, Don Esteban gathered the staff. "I have important guests tomorrow. The house must be perfect then. Here did Mariela. You will be in charge of the study, the library, and the main hall. I also want you to check the warehouse inventory." Her co-workers looked at her with pity. It was too much for one person. "Sir, all of it today. Is there a problem?" She lowered her gaze. "No. Sir, I will do it." She worked without a break. She polished furniture, organized shelves, sorted books, and moved boxers. By the time she finished, it was nearly 10 at night. Her back ached and her hands trembled. As she headed to her room, she heard Don Esteban's voice down the hall. "Mariela." She stopped. "Yes, sir. Recheck the inventory tomorrow. I found a minor error." A minor error. In a list of hundreds of items. For the first time, a thought burned inside her. This isn't fair. But she said nothing. The next day, while cleaning the study, Mariela found an old notebook belonging to Don Esteban's mother. On the cover, it read, "Kindness is also order. An order also needs kindness." She opened it curiously. Inside were reflections on organization and the importance of humane treatment. One underlined sentence stood out. "She who organizes a home with love also organizes the soul." Mariela closed the notebook. The problem wasn't just hard work. It was working without recognition, balance, or humanity. An idea sparked. If Don Esteban wanted perfection, she would show him that perfection also required justice, planning, and respect. In her own notebook, she began to write methods to speed up tasks, more efficient routines, better scheduling, and proposals for improvement. 4 nights. She planned strategies, not with complaints, but with a desire to prove her worth. A month later, Don Esteban's business partner, Dona Renata, came to visit. She was an elegant, intelligent woman. As she entered, she saw Mariela arranging flowers. She watched how the young woman measured the vase's position and the arrangement's harmony with precision. "What beautiful arrangements!" she said. "Thank you, ma'am." Dona Renata observed the impeccable cleanliness and order. "Who coordinates the organization of this house?" "We all contribute, ma'am, but I've been proposing some changes to make the work easier." Mariela hesitated, then showed Dona Renata her notebook. The woman leafed through it, impressed. "This is professional, Mariela, very professional. Does Don Esteban know about this?" "No, ma'am." "I didn't think you would be interested." Dona Renata closed the book. "Well, he's about to be. Come with me." They entered Don Esteban's office. He looked up, surprised. "Renata, what is it?" "It's that your house runs better than many offices I've seen, and I found out who's responsible." She handed him the notebook. He read page after page, his expression changing. He had never seen such detailed plans, nor imagined that one of his staff could analyze tasks this way. "Mariela, you did this." "Yes, sir," she answered calmly. "For how long?" "For weeks. I wanted to improve the house and make the work fairer for everyone." Dona Renata smiled proudly. "Your employee has more vision than some professional managers." Don Esteban looked at Mariela for a long moment. The coldness in his eyes was gone, replaced by a newfound understanding. "I believe I have been unfair to you," he said finally, with a sincerity that surprised everyone. "I was only trying to do my job, sir, and you've done it better than I ever imagined. From today, I want you to manage the organization of this house. You will have a balanced schedule, a pay raise, and the authority to implement your ideas." Mariela was silent, her heart pounding. It was more than she had dared to dream. In the following weeks, Mariela reorganized tasks, designed humane schedules, and trained the staff. The atmosphere in the house lightened. The days became shorter, and the results were better than ever. Even Don Esteban began to show his gratitude with small gestures. "A good job, a thank you, and this is perfect." For Mariela, each one was a silent victory. A year later, Dona Renata called Mariela to her office. "I've seen your work. It's impeccable. I want to offer you a position as a property coordinator. You'll be responsible for developing organizational systems like the ones you created here. The salary is excellent." Mariela's heart raced. It was the opportunity that would change her life and her family's. She returned to the mansion to speak with Don Esteban. "I came to say goodbye, sir." "I know," he said with a sigh. "Are you upset?" "I'm proud. I learned more from you than from many consultants. You taught me that order is meaningless without humanity." Mariela smiled. "Thank you for trusting me in the end. No. Thank you for teaching me that I, too, had things to improve." They shook hands with mutual respect. Mariela left the mansion with her head held high. Years later, Mariela became a recognized expert in home and space management. She created a training program for young people from low-income backgrounds. In every class, she would say, "Don't let injustice define your worth. Effort speaks, time demonstrates, and dedication opens doors that others cannot close." Her story was not one of revenge, but of transformation. Because the greatest victory over injustice is to succeed without losing your kindness. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more content.